Hi, this is Albert Bouchard, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hello, Albert.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Bruce. That's my partners, Riina and Kris.
Hi.
Hey, we got a crowd here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is a smooth show of three hosts. Nobody ever talks on top of anybody, and
No.
none of that unprofessional stuff ever happens. How are you doing, Albert? How's your day going?
Good so far. It's just starting, really.
Nice. Where are you
Where
located?
you at?
New York City.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. So you're starting at noon. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, I had my breakfast. I went out for a walk, Yeah.
Nice. I just got back from New York yesterday.
So I was actually just listening to OD'd on Life, and the first thing that struck me was the what? Bruce, I think you're frozen. So anyways, I was just listening to OD'd on Life, and the first thing that struck me was the recording quality of that track. Like how present it was. Did you record this at home? Did you go to a studio? How did you track this song?
I recorded it all at home, actually. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you engineer it yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I I had somebody else mix it. I had Steve Hardy mix that one. So, and he's a guy that writes for Mix Magazine. He's been around for a while. He's really good, really good.
Right.
But I after the last record, Reimaginos, I really kind of got a whole process for recording acoustic guitars and the violin and I got my vocal thing a little better together. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I like, I'm a recording engineer, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this will sound like. And I hit play, and I was just like, next thing I know, the song was over, and I was on to the next one that was on YouTube, which was from your last record, I guess.
Yeah.
With the cool video too. That was a great video. And I was just like, my God, this sounds spectacular. Like it just sounded engulfing. It almost reminded me of like a I don't know how to say this properly, but like Pink Floydish, but not Pink Floyd at the same time. Like it was really atmospheric, but not in the sense of like delays and all this random stuff. It was just atmospheric with instrumentation and arrangement.
Well, thank you. I mean, Pink Floyd is like the gold standard, really.
Right.
And that's. I mean, if it sounded like that, I was trying my hardest to sound like that. I mean, part of the thing about Pink Floyd, though, is not so much the individual sounds. I mean, if you really dig into it, some of the sounds are grating and, very lo-fi and weird, but it's like the space. They make this space in their arrangement. They don't clutter it with a lot of stuff. That's funny that you said that because, I've been working with Robert Gordon on his new record that's coming out next year. And I didn't record any of that stuff. It's stuff that he'd done before we started work. I've been trying to record this guy for years, right? We wrote like 40 songs and he's always like, I got to use my guy in Nashville or these guys in Pennsylvania. And they're professional and they're good, but, I don't think he knew, what I was talking about. So I played him I gave him a copy of this last record and he goes, oh my God, it sounds like Pink Floyd. We got to do a record together.
So it wasn't just me then.
Yeah.
So I just found the spatial elements and the arrangement was so brilliant. And I'm wondering, are you like a classically trained musician or is this something you do just by feel?
I mean, I've taken music lessons and I studied music in college and all this stuff. So I know a lot about how things fit together. But I think mostly what I learned was from either, YouTube, I mean, certainly the pandemic, all of a sudden I was going on YouTube every day, to get inspired. I would, when I was cutting drums, I was watching drummers. And then when I was cutting guitar, I was cutting guitar players. And then when I was mixing, I was looking at mixers, and what their signal chain and how they stack their things and how they, put certain elements together and then process them together, but also with a little side chain thing. I mean, not to get too technical, but yeah.
No, I understand.
So I've researched a lot, and I think that mostly what I've learned is either from the engineers that I work with, the amazing people like Jack Douglas and Martin Birch and
oh my God,
all these guys that are just amazing, and you just sit there and you're just watching them, and I'd say, well, how you do that? Oh, well, that's it's better to do it too little than too much, and then we stack them up, and everybody had their own little things that they did, but so I don't know, I've learned from that too. So
just those two names alone, I can't even imagine being in the room with one of them for even for 5 minutes. Like Martin Birch, like, I mean, that guy changed my life, really. The guy is one of the best was rest in peace, one of the best recording engineers in the world in history.
Yeah, true. I mean, with the Fleetwood Mac and Deep Purple. Oh my God, and
Iron Maiden.
After that, Iron Maiden, yeah. But he had a very, it was very like painting a soundscape, or almost like how you have really great artists and they talk about the negative space. That's what he would be looking at, the negative space, to sculpt, the soundscape.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Riina?
Bruce? Oh.
That was awesome, Paul.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've done all these interviews. Everyone takes a different kind of veers off in a different direction. So, this is talking engineering here.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Like, you can trust our Kris to go down the gear porn road, and you can trust me to go,
well, I'm a recording engineer, so it's like this is what I do every day. So I'm always interested in what I hear. And like sometimes I hear things and I'm like, I'm not going to ask anything about the engineering because I don't want to know. But with this, I definitely did want to know because it's just so like all encompassing. Like it almost feels three-dimensional, the song. And then the other thing I found interesting was that you're using original lyrics for the song and you're kind of reimagining this track. And so I A-B'd them side by side and I was just like, I don't see any similarities to this at all, other than I prefer the new one. I'm sorry, that's maybe me, but
yeah. Well, a lot of what I was doing with these Reimaginos and Imaginos II, and I continue in Imaginos III, is trying to go back and remember exactly how the song started and what Sandy's original idea was, because as time went by, while I was doing it, I would be with the other guys and, no, Sandy, we don't want to do it like that, or whatever, or Sandy would have a different idea, so he would change things. So I wanted to go back and try and be as faithful to the original idea, which is why I use the original lyrics, and on some other songs I also went back to original lyrics, and because sometimes, like with OD'd, Sandy was the one that wanted the change. It was
really?
Like too many words in the chorus. Yeah. So
is it kind of emotional going back and doing that? Like, does it kind of bring up old emotions, good, bad, ugly, happy, sad, whatever?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a trip. It's really, I would get immersed in it, and I would work on something like OD. That's about the fourth or fifth version that I did.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't, I put up the original, right, from Blue Öyster Cult, and I started working with that, like just, okay, I'm going to play all the parts acoustic with a fretless bass and all this stuff. And it wasn't doing it for me. It was like, this doesn't sound right. It just doesn't, it doesn't have that, and I also thought about like how Sandy thought of the song. It was we'd played a gig up in, I don't know, Albany-ish area. I don't know if it's Schenectady or it could have been some little town out over there, and Sandy happened to be with us. I guess maybe, I don't know what exactly was the occasion. It was after the first album. So we were going out on tour, and of course Sandy was going. It might have been like the Byrds tour, but our very first tour. And I know that Sandy was there for all those gigs, after a while he stopped going out on the road with us. But in the beginning he was there all the time. He was at the soundboard, telling the guy what to do. And he's like, this guy.
Nice.
But so we were going back to New York, and on the way, the Allman Brothers were playing, somewhere around there. And Sandy knew the promoter, so we just drove in, with our van, and we all got out. We watched the Allman Brothers, and then we got back in the car, and we drove back to the city. And as we're going out of the venue, we went by the medical tent, and there was all these people on stretchers, and we're like, oh my God, this probably everybody's ODing, and he's like, oh, OD'd on life itself. That should be a song.
That's
cool.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Did
Riina?
you ever learn why they were on the stretchers?
No. That was enough. We made a song out of it.
That's enough. That's enough. Like high on life, that would be on life. That's basically just death, isn't it?
And who knows? They probably didn't die. I don't think anybody died, but they definitely took too much of whatever it was,
Right.
whether it was alcohol or acid or what, It's back in first tours, 1972, I guess,
Wow. Yeah.
71,
Wow.
actually, the end of 71. So, yeah. And then Sandy wrote the lyrics, and I was like, whoa, okay. He went into a whole other, he wasn't talking about drugs. He was talking about life itself,
Right.
and all of this, the mouth of the cave and, all this other stuff, which was, whoa, like bringing what was it, Aristotle?
Yeah.
Or, Plato into there. So,
the allegory of the cave. Yeah.
Yeah. Plato, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you end up talking about alien conspiracies then?
Oh, well, that was something we were all into, I mean, we had a band house in Great Neck, and we rented a TV to watch the moon landing,
Really?
a color TV. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just for that. And then of course we kept it because, we discovered Star Trek. So, and we would all be there. Sandy would be there. We'd all, sit down on the couch, or whatever we had laying around and watch, Captain Kirk. So it was a lot of that, a lot of, interest in that kind of stuff. And I think, we all liked, sci-fi and horror and stuff like, we liked Godzilla, that was another thing we'd watch whenever it was on. We'd watch it again, Raymond Burr.
Yeah.
Injected into this Japanese thing.
Yes. And those old black and white ones, I don't know what that was, the 40s, I guess. Those were great.
Yeah.
I used to watch them with my grandfather, and he used to just laugh the whole way through it. That's all good movies.
Yep.
You
So, so there was a lot of that,
Yeah.
How does one rent a color TV?
Oh, well, that's what you did because we had no money. We certainly couldn't buy it, so we went to the rental place, and, there was rental places that would rent you a TV.
My God, that is so cool.
We had a TV, but we didn't have any phone.
Was it one of those great big console TVs?
Yes.
I remember
Yeah.
like a piece of furniture.
Yeah. It had rabbit ears too.
Man, that must have been like carrying an SVT up the stairs just to try and get it in the house.
Yeah. Well, we had the acoustic 360 amp, so that was
Nice.
It was the predecessor to the SVT.
Yeah. Heavy as hell.
Yeah.
What do you think? Which one is the most plausible, most believable conspiracy theory in your opinion?
Well, I would say that, the government certainly like withholding any kind of evidence of aliens, that's pretty much true, and I think that they probably did it in the interest of national security, because they didn't know if it was aliens or the Russians, so, we got all caught up in that McCarthy era, Red Scare bull crap. I was just, I sing in a glee club, and most of the guys are vets, and it's all male, so most of them are veterans, and we went to a few of us, the executive committee went to a restaurant, to a Japanese restaurant afterwards, and there was this kid there who was currently a Marine, right? And so he got to talking with the guys, and so afterwards, as we're walking back after we said goodbye to this guy, we're talking about Vietnam and how what a shit show that was. Pardon my French, but
yeah,
it was, that the guy I was talking to, he signed up to go over there, and he still feels, oh, well, we did some good. And I'm like, no, we didn't. We backed the wrong pony. We drove Ho Chi Minh into the arms of the Chinese. He hated the Chinese, and we drove him into if you see Ken Burns' Vietnam series, that really, I think that's very, it's really covers all sides of the thing, and you can see how just by chance we ended up in this mess, because Kennedy went on vacation.
Yeah, fair enough.
And all of a sudden we were immersed in this thing that, this mess that we inherited from the French. So
one thing I found really weird about that war was that Nixon negotiated through a back channel to keep that war going so he could win the election. That to me, it's true though. It's all written down. They just released the documents on it. Right. It blows my mind.
Yeah, and at the time it was a conspiracy theory. So there you go.
Yeah, but now it's true.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? That happened? Like that?
I mean, my personal opinion.
And this isn't the first or the last time when wars are being used to leverage political.
Yeah. Even Reagan, with the to sabotage Jimmy Carter,
absolutely, with the hostage situation.
Yeah. So
those records were just released as well. Yeah.
I mean, my personal feeling is that I am not. I think that if you go too far down that conspiracy theory rabbit hole, it's bad for you psychologically.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I think I try to take things at face value, but sometimes you get a murmuring or you get a feeling about, geez, this doesn't seem right. This doesn't make sense.
Right.
Why, the whole, for instance, a conspiracy theory that the government is responsible for, COVID,
Right.
I mean, or even that you would get these people saying, well, it's not really that many people that are dying, they're inflating the numbers. Who in their right mind would do that? It just makes you look like an ass.
Right.
Who would inflate the numbers? It's impossible. Okay. It's more likely the other way that they're, minimizing the numbers. The hospitals, they want more money. No, the hospitals have plenty of money. Are they, I mean, it's a rough business being in the healthcare business, but it's also, there's plenty of money there. There's plenty of money. They don't need to do this. They don't want to be overworked. It didn't make any sense to me. I mean, it could be that, that it was that the Chinese were working on some sort of germ warfare, and it just got out of control. I mean, that makes sense to me, but maybe not. We're always having these crazy viruses and stuff.
Oh yeah, and the one that makes me think about the healthcare thing is like, no hospital wants to be seen, especially in the United States, with refrigerated trucks outside holding bodies.
No.
Like, that's not a good look for anybody. Like,
that's one that I know for sure was not real. I mean,
even Trump said, like, cut down on the testing. We want the numbers to go down.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And, and I would say the same thing, maybe. I don't know if I was him.
if we just stopped testing, there wouldn't be so many cases.
Yeah. Genius.
Nice.
Yeah. That we could have a pandemic I'm sick of it. I'm really, oh my God, I'm so sick of it. I sing in this glee club with these old guys, I'm like one of the younger guys, at least for the time being.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Boom.
But so we sing masked, and it's a drag trying to sing with a mask on your face, and you're inhaling the mask. When after you sing a really long note, you need to take a big gulp of air.
Yeah, I'm sick of it too, man. But I don't know. We're here.
Yeah, we got. Yeah.
What do you have planned next? I mean, the track is out, OD'd on Life Itself. Do you have other singles you can plan on releasing, or what's the plan going forward from here?
I don't know. We've released 2 singles, OD'd on Life Itself and Independence Day, and we're working on a video for that. But and I don't know. I there are other songs on the record that I personally love. I mean, I think that Shadow of California, to me, is like, it's just a delightful song. I love singing it. I love playing it. It's got this like really super dark feeling, but it's also spacey and not too dense until it gets to the chorus, and then then it's the kitchen sink moment. But yeah.
Everything in it.
yeah. And and I got this young guy playing drums on it, who's he's the virtuoso. I mean, I've seen him play before, and I was like, hey, I got to get you on my record. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, but I only have one song that needs a drum part. He's like, sure, show me what it is. Well, he came and did his thing, and of course, it's so spacey that he could really show off a bit.
Well, that's all.
Drummers show off.
Yeah, that's all I've got. Riina, you got anything else?
No, this has been such a pleasure. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to run to a bus into the pharmacy to get some cough medicine and painkillers for my sick kid. But
oh man,
I'm a little distracted. Excuse me, but it's the mom instincts. You can't help it. But this has been super interesting. I could have picked your brain about the conspiracy stuff for hours and hours. And of course, like when we get to the good stuff, that's when my computer freezes.
Right.
But, and I'm sure it's not an accident.
It's a conspiracy.
You're being censored by China.
Conspiracy. Yes, that's right.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
Thank
That was smooth and lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time. That was a great conversation.
That was silky.
Exactly. I'm all like goosebumpy here now.
Next year we're going to have IMAGINOS III, and it's going to be like this, but more.
Okay, please come back.
Yes, and if fans want to find you, can you give us your socials?
Security number, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
They'll definitely find you.
So on Facebook and YouTube, it's Alt Bouch, ALTBOUCH. And my website is albertbouchard.net.
All right. Once again, thank you for taking the time, my friend.
That's it.
I appreciate it.
And please come back next year. This is great.
Yeah, this was a good time.
Yeah. We'll see you next year, and have a good rest of the day.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz. And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.